Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is part 3 of the brain tumor series. If you haven't watched the other 2 videos, I highly recommend going and watching those first. They're short clips. This one is going to be about the rest of my story where I left off on the first video. And the second video is about me getting married and 3 weeks after getting brain surgery and how my husband was a caretaker for me and his testimony. So that's a great watch. This one is, like I said, a continuation of the story where I left off in the first video of the series, and then how God is using me and my testimony and me walking my purpose. So sometimes God makes you go through certain things in your life that make you only rely on Him, because obviously we alone can't do it by ourselves, the strength and the courage, and that's where we lean on Him, right? So during this trial of mine, it not only helped me get closer to God, but it helped the ones around me get closer to Him as well. In my previous videos, I have said if I had to go through it again to become the person I am today, I would so do it, and I wouldn't wish this on anyone. It is the worst thing, one of the worst things a human could possibly go through. I'm a much better person because of it. And it shined light on a lot of things in my life. I realized what was more important. When I lost my beauty of what society accepts as beauty, right? The hair, and losing weight, and just pretty much looked like a skeleton, a cancer patient, a Holocaust victim, whatever you want to say. Like, I got looks, let's put it that way. And I had to get used to getting stared at, because people have RBFs, right? Where you think they're looking at you and judging you, or in a mean way, but honestly maybe they may be concerned, or whatever the case might be. I had to wear a little wrap around my head, because one thing, I didn't want to get questioned and get looks for the big scar on my head. Like, oh, did she get in an accident, or did her husband do something, or like things that go through people's heads. And I didn't want to look like a victim, because I'm a survivor. I learned the new definition of what beauty was. Hair does hold a lot of memories. I thought I'll have to insert a clip getting my hair cut here, but I thought I'd cry, like in sadness, really, to cut it off. But I felt liberating. I just wanted to start fresh, So the neurosurgeon doesn't normally cut your hair. So he only cut like half of my head pretty much during surgery, and there was half left, and I was like, just cut the rest of it off, because I want to grow back even, and I don't trust anyone else touching my head. Like, it was so fragile, I didn't trust anyone. And I begged him. I was like, you saved my life. Like, I only trust you. Please, can you cut my hair? And even my sister-in-law was surprised, because she works in the medical field. She's like, they never do that. Like, he must really care about you. I look at him as a hero in my life, like, that was a very delicate situation, and he's such an amazing person. I highly recommend him. And like I said, he's a top neurosurgeon in all of Florida, one of them. He has amazing bedside manners, just the sweetest guy. And afterwards, I baked him all cookies, not right after. When I was going to my next appointment, following up after that, after my physical therapy and all that, I did, and wrote a thank you card and gave him a picture of us and after surgery, like with my hair shaved. And then another one with a surgeon and Jesus over the surgeon guiding his hands. So he has that in his office, and they still ask, or whoever's working for him that day, they're like, oh, you must be so-and-so, because they see you in his office. He has it framed, and he's very proud of it, and he always mentions it. It's just sweet. My parents flew in. My brother helped them get like the first ticket out from North Carolina to Florida, to Orlando. And they about didn't make it. And I'm glad I did get to see my parents, because it was a 50-50 chance. And it was special. Like, I really needed that. And I know they did too. So I'm glad they made it. My husband, I didn't know, but he surprised me with my childhood best friend of, I want to say, almost 20 years. She took really, really amazing care of me for a week after my surgery. And I don't think I could have done it without her. I think every person in that room at the time, or in my life, had a reason, a certain purpose to be there, right? Like, they all had their own gifts and ways of taking care of me that I needed. And I think my husband, I think God, and I think, they knew I needed her there more than I thought I did, because I'm the type of person, which I think most of us are, where we don't want to ask for help, or we don't want to realize how serious a situation might be, and we deny it, or we just, I try to stay positive the entire time, for sure. Being rolled into the operating room, and I think that's when it really hit me. They marked my head with an X, and I think just the thought of something, someone drilling into your head, to your brain, your central nervous system that controls everything, is really scary, and you're by yourself. And they all prayed over me. And that's all I remember. And then I woke up, but I was on a breathing machine. So I was supposed to be under for 24 hours so my brain could rest and heal. But the medication they gave me made my blood pressure way too low, about died again. So they had to counteract it, so it woke me up 12 hours earlier. And I just remember playing charades with my loved ones and asking if I was beautiful. But they were surprised I was already that well aware of everything after brain surgery. I just couldn't see. I could hear faintly in and out. And then letting them know there was congestion in my tube, and that was suffocating. And then I guess, my loved ones, before I realized before I was playing charades, they said I was tugging on the tube, trying to get out of my throat, which I think that's normal for a lot of people. It's just your body's way of feeling like it's suffocating. And apparently I had to have 2 blood transfusions, I believe. And I had insomnia. I was allergic to the steroids they gave me. Highly allergic. They kept giving me Benadryl with it, but it was awful. I think one night I couldn't get sleep for over 34 hours, and I was going crazy. I just needed sleep. And I had to be in a dark room, no lights, no TV, nothing. Everything was triggering. I couldn't walk because, you're off balance. You can't really, you're relearning everything. Felt like a toddler. And I think I couldn't take my first shower until I was able to get my stitches out, which I think was 5 or 6 days, I believe. They had a drain. I remember, and my head was super, super swollen. Super swollen. My memory was awful. And they cut into your jaw muscle, so I couldn't really eat. And I have TMJ on this side too, so fun. But they kept trying to give me solids, and I lost 10 pounds. There was just I think my favorite thing that they could give me was mashed potatoes with gravy. And I'll have to insert a photo too of just my loved ones sacrificing so much for me, like them sleeping in the hospital. And my husband actually started to GoFundMe because we were just drained of everything. And it was overwhelming. It was really overwhelming. I woke up finding out that, you know, technically lost my job, and they were starting all this chaos with me, acting like it was a piece of cake what I went through, and never paid me. And I was looking forward to it, to get my medical supplies that I needed, like my walker and everything. And but God provided. It was just a very, very hard time. I appreciate everyone that sent me flowers and cards and messages and voice notes and all the things. It was so special. It really did help me get through it all, because it was lonely feeling. Like, even though I had my husband and I know I have God, but it was just, and the only person, no one could relate to it, right? Only you know what you're going through, you and God. And I think it would infuriate me sometimes, because people are like, oh, I understand, I get what you're going through. I was like, no, you don't. And I appreciate them for trying to, but they just didn't. And I did go down a deep hole where I felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, the suffering. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I couldn't breathe good. I don't know if it's from being intubated or whatnot, but I had shortness of breath, and it wasn't anxiety. And they said it could be caused from the central nervous system too, just affecting my breathing. But I think it was that, with the pain and the swelling and the uncomfortableness and bed sores, and it was a lot. So my favorite, or I guess my new buddies after surgery, was my little bedpan thing I had. Saved my husband, except for having to clean it. And then my shower seat thing my friend let me borrow. That was amazing. And then also a cushion for the toilet, because I lost so much weight, it hurt to sit on the toilet. So that was nice. I remember my husband's mom coming over to help too, which was so amazing. And she gave me a shower. You know, you have to be very vulnerable and just have to realize you do have to rely on people and ask for help at times. So that was really sweet of her to do that for me. So that's why I think taking pictures and videos of things is very important, because you could go through something like I did and not remember much, and you want something to look back on. Or when you get old and have dementia or Alzheimer's, and you have something to look back on, or you pass down to your kids, grandkids. So much history in that. I think that's another reason I love YouTube. It's like my own personal scrapbook, but also at the same time my own ministry. And that's why I'm writing my book too. It's my own ministry. It's like my own little ministry, which I love. I love you guys. I love the community we've built. And I want to keep spreading awareness for this. And I want you guys to realize that there is power in your testimony too. You don't have to go through something as dramatic as me to have some sense of purpose. God uses us all in different ways, and we're all unique. And we all do have a story to tell, and it is powerful. It's what makes you you. It's what sets you apart from someone else. And I wish I had someone talk about what they were going through similar to what I was going through, because it was so lonely and dark, and you don't know who you could help and shine light on. You do not know. So be vulnerable, be human. And it could be healing for yourself too to talk about it. It can. I don't like talking about myself much. I more like to help other people. But I know I do have to talk about myself a little bit to relate to others. Because no one knows what you're going through unless you talk about it, right? So I think it's good and it's healing in some ways, because it's amazing when you have fellowship, because when you can be open with someone, you realize you're not alone, and someone may be going through something similar, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. You know, like, this is happening to more people than we realize. It's crazy. So I encourage you to just share your story, and I promise you it will be worth it. And I'm proud of you if you are doing that right now, and if you are going to. That's why I encourage. Let me know in the comments too if you have been through something similar, or you know someone who has gone through something like that, or what is your story. Like, let me know a little bit about you. I want to know my community. I want to know my followers, my subscribers. Like, this is what I'm here for, right? Like, let me a little bit into your lives as well. It's not all about me. And I do want to share before I close this off that I did get certified in herbalism while I was in bed rest, just so I could learn how to heal myself naturally. I was allergic to the steroids, right? So I learned how to heal myself in ways that the doctors couldn't believe how fast I healed, which I'll be creating an online course for that as well. I'll mention it some in my book, but I will have an online course for that if you guys are interested. And if you are, just give this video a thumbs up and then let me know in the comments as well. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. The next one is turning your testimony into a legacy. And how we're going to do that is through like our faith and resilience and just your journey. Like, how can we do that? And I'm going to also share some stories from the Bible too that can relate to that, which is going to be super exciting. You know, you are not alone. You do not have to go through this alone, this crazy life alone. And I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in the next. Bye, guys.